Hundreds of new traders are stacking consistent money on PumpFun with almost no starting capital. And they're not using calls or insider groups. They all learned one boring, repeatable system with no guessing and no staring at charts all day. And I'm going to break down exactly what they're doing and how they're doing it in this video so that you can start using it yourself. You'll learn exactly how to find coins to enter, how to know when to enter them, and when to get out of them to lock in profits. I'm also going to show you the filter cheat code we use that removes 99% of the scams and rugs instantly. My name is Matt, founder of the Alpha Club, home to over 20,000 active traders. And I lost 10K in my first month trading memes. So I got into the room with the best traders in the world. I learned exactly what they were doing and how they were doing it. Then I built a system around it. I then tested that system on new traders to prove it wasn't just me and it wasn't just luck. I call it the Viral Coin Sniping strategy, and it runs on early hype signals. You guys already know that big attention means big coins. So the strategy finds the attention that's building before the crowd sees it. It then confirms momentum is real, locates the main coin, and lets you enter before anyone else shows up. So let me show you what this looks like and why it always works. This coin right here, Terminal, ran to 500K today. Honestly, a lot of coins are running lately. If you were tracking early hype signals with the system, you would have seen this tweet. Now, what did that tweet mean? Well, Angel Cirque went viral on CT after she posted that she's affiliated with the trading terminal and called herself Terminal. Then PumpFun softly shilled the Angel Cirque meme, hence the coin. Now, when the coin popped up in new, you were able to see that group linking this video. This video had hundreds of thousands of views and was gaining speed at an insane rate. These are all momentum metrics that we learned to track. So since momentum was building heavily, and it wasn't just this girl saying this, the actual trading terminal account also soft shilled it, this thing was able to go to 500,000. And for the people who were online at the time with a system, let's just say a lot of people quickly gained an ability to buy a new M4 comp. It's all because of an early hype signal. This is across all coins we ever enter. When you're able to see and notice something before 99% of people, you can then get out way before it becomes dangerous and secure profits very easily. Here's what most people do when they open up a DEX or PumpFun. They see a bunch of coins and can't tell which ones are bundled scams, and they also have no clue which ones are actually building momentum and gaining speed versus which ones are losing speed. Hint, it's not visible in the price of the coin. So they just enter something that they think looks good, and then they watch as it slowly or quickly falls, and then they lose their money, strengthening the false belief that this is not possible. They become exit liquidity for the guys with a real plan. Other people losing all day sit on the feed for 12 hours clicking on everything thinking that they just need to trade more, when in reality that's the worst thing you can do because you're gonna burn yourself out, you're gonna overtrade, slowly drain your wallet, and enter coins that never had a chance to begin with. You only need like 2 hours a day in peak volume for trading. Like that's it, and you don't even need to do it every day of the week. It also helps when you can actually make money and pay for things in real life. Once you flip that switch and you start buying actual things with your money from trading and you can quit your shitty job, your perception is going to completely change. But at the end of the day, people do not know this, so they say meme coins are a scam. They say it's just gambling, but it's not. It's an attention market where thousands of traders prove every single month you can make real money here. The market is not the problem. Trading without a system is the problem. Think about it. You would never trade futures or stocks without a strategy and expect to get rich. But that's how 99% of people treat meme coins. They just wing it and then they wonder why they keep losing. We need to talk about the shift from going from a complete noob who just throws his soul away to someone who's actually winning consistently. Here's what the winners figured out that everyone else missed. Meme coins are not random. Like I said, they're attention markets. Every single coin that pumps starts with one thing: attention, hype, virality, whatever you want to call it. For example, a celebrity does something stupid, a tweet goes viral, a community forms, literally anything generating views. The attention comes first, and it can come from anywhere. The coin gets created second, and then the price moves after that. The more attention that floods in, the higher that the coin is going to go. Here's why this matters for you. If you're finding trades by watching the price and waiting for green candles, you're literally looking at the last thing to move, the last thing that even matters. Yes, in the 5-second check, price action is one of the things because at the end of the day, good structure on the chart is important. But without the other things, it doesn't even matter 1%. That's why the 5-second check comes right before entry. So if you don't know where attention is coming from and you don't know how to track attention, then you're going to keep buying tops. The good thing is attention is always trackable. It shows up in a bunch of places that we're going to get into. And this opportunity is not going to stop as long as humans have social interaction on the internet. As long as things like Twitter exists or celebrities or sports, literally anything, attention will keep coming to coins that are made on the thing. It hasn't changed for like 10 years. Now we just have PumpFun and stuff to make it easier to trade. This is how the market is structurally built. It's how the people pulling in 10K to 100K every single month without a single copy trader are doing things. Here's another fantastic example today. This almost went to 700K and it's called Whiff 2. So if you were looking for early hype signals like the system teaches, you would have seen Whiff 2. This is a no-brainer play that a lot of my friends took. As you can see here though, you had a ton of time to enter the coin if you were scanning for early hype signals on the new pairs page. It's like any of my students or the members in my group who started with literally nothing getting rubbed on repeat. They didn't get lucky, they didn't copy trade anyone, they learned a skill and executed the system. We see this happen over and over again inside the community for people who can simply take directions. Like if you can put your ego aside for a minute and take a mindset of I don't really know what I'm doing, I'm down to learn though, and I'll try what you say, the success rate is very high. The difference between traders who win and traders who lose is not intelligence. It has nothing to do with how smart you are. It's also not connections. It's not starting capital. You can have fuck all. It's whether or not you have an actual strategy that tells you what to look for, when to get in, when to get out, and how to control your emotions. That's it. And that's exactly what I'm going to walk you through right now. We're going to cover the system. Step 1 is finding the signal. Step 1 is early hype signals. This is the terminal trenches page, aka the coin feed. It shows every single meme coin that's being made, that's migrated and about to migrate in real time. You only care about these two side columns in reality. Every coin starts in new creations when it gets deployed, and if it gets enough attention, it will hit around 40K or right now 36K, whatever it is, depending on SOL price, and it will migrate and become a real coin. The filters are what make these columns usable. On new creations, when I remove the filters, you're gonna see a bunch of crap. Like if you don't actually know how to make a filter, then your job is almost impossible because of how quickly things move and because that most of it's gonna be garbage. Now, the thing with the new column is that you cannot filter by fees paid or alpha groups. Those are the two main filters that you would use in migrated if you're new. So what do we use? Well, we use at least one social. We use a market cap floor, a volume floor, and a social minimum. That's it. Very simple. Because the idea here is we're not going to remove a single good coin, but we're going to remove almost all of the bad coins. So you're going to want 5K market cap, 3K volume, and these will change depending on SOL price, but we always keep it up to date in the Discord below. And at least one social. Now let me explain this to you so you actually understand it. Volume is the lifeblood of the coin. Without volume, price can literally not rise or fall. A coin has to be traded to rise or fall, and every trade, depending on the amount, adds to the volume. Well, a coin cannot reach a 5K market cap without a 3K volume at the current SOL price. So when you see a 6K market cap coin with 600 volume, and this one also happens to have no socials, it's complete bullshit and a waste of time and processing power in your brain to even look at. If it doesn't have a certain amount of volume at a certain market cap, then it got there artificially, not through real buying pressure. So the filter is actually doing 3 jobs at once. It hides coins with no actual momentum, it filters out coins that fake their way to a market cap they didn't earn, and it removes the ones that you can't verify in the first place because they don't have any social. Once you have the filter on, what you're looking for is attention that's building quickly. That can show up in a few ways. For example, multiple coins popping popping up at once about the same topic. Sometimes you will see the feed flood with the same kind of picture and ticker. That's a good sign that something big just went down. Another attention thing we look for early hype signal is a new community with actual waves. So when you click on a group, for example, like an X community, and you scroll down and you see them getting like 1,000 views, you see them actually getting views no matter how small they are. If they're over like 100 views per post and they're actually posting often, then they're generating some sort of waves. Sometimes a lot of groups will have something viral that went viral in the group, and that's a very good sign because then they're bringing in new attention to the coin. Another thing is a big news moment. Like for example, when the US did the strikes, there was so many coins being made on it and there was a lot of runners. I was taking like 4 trades at the same time. All were absolutely printing. Big news is so good for trading. Another one could be a KOL or a known wallet entering a coin and triggering a chain reaction. So as you can see, the filter isn't just one specific thing. It's attention moving faster than normal. Once you see it a few times, you'll be able to recognize it instantly. So before we move on here, I put all of the early hype signals, the full filter setup for all the columns, and my exact settings into a free strategy cheat sheet linked in the description. So step 2 is gathering the coins. Once you've found a hype signal, you need to find the right coin for it. Like I said, when big attention hits a topic, multiple coins get spun up to capture it at like the same time. So vamp coins are trying to suck liquidity from each other and only one can be the real runner. The rest are gonna fail. The way you pick it quick is that you check the links. They should all lead to the actual source of the hype, not a broken tweet or a repost of a tweet or a dead telegram, the real post picking up attention or the real group or whatever it may be. A broken link is a death sentence. The next thing is check the ticker and the image. Does it match the topic cleanly? The most accurate one made first with the best metrics usually wins. If there's multiple clean candidates, what the hell do you do? Well, you start with the biggest one in market cap, and then you take it into step 3, and then if it fails it, you move to the second one in market cap. So step 3 is the 5-second check. This is where most people mess up. They find a coin they like and they just ape in. You're going to confirm momentum first. A coin is no different than a wave. It starts low, goes up, then comes back down. Most people buy when the coin is 90 or 100% of the way up the wave, and then watch as it goes down. The whole point of the system is to catch it early. So first thing you're going to check when you're in the 5-second check and everything else lined up is you're gonna open up the chart and you're gonna zoom out. We wanna make sure that the coin is not already crashed. If this coin had already been up to like 50K and then it comes back down to like 12K, you're opening the chart and you see 12K, then you need to skip it. It's already crashed. And the reason for skipping it is that it has to get through so many different resistances in order to get to its new all-time high again. Every single resistance makes it harder and harder for the coin to recover. That's why crashed coins is the first check. You don't want to enter crashed coins. It's not even worth it. In total, you're going to be reading 3 things together on the chart. Price action, like we just covered, we want to make sure it's not crashed and that it's looking healthy. It's going upward. Next is the volume bars. What do they look like? Here we see them going upward. Back here, they were trending downward, so we would have not wanted to enter once we noticed a downtrend. This coin is in a complete downtrend and price is reflecting it. Volume bars are important, and I also like to look at the 5-minute volume. The next thing that almost no one really watches is holder count. Are holders going up or down and how fast? When holders are jumping up in chunks of 5 or more and everything else checks out, pressure is building and a breakout is incoming. But when holders are bleeding and dropping, the coin is dying no matter how the chart looks. No single one of these things can tell you everything. You're reading them together. Once you've done it enough times, it takes about 5 seconds. But you always need to remember that attention driver is the first and most important layer. Without it, the rest does not matter. Now we're going to get into the most important things that other YouTubers are not even going to talk about. We're going to get into a few things right now, the actual sauce that's going to make it a game changer for you, okay? So first is entries. For entries, there's a few ways depending on the setup that you can enter. Sometimes the coin comes in hot on big news and you just have to buy it right away. Other times, you're looking for a pullback to support, then you're gonna buy a discount on a range rebound, and on strong community coins, you can use the psychological 40% dip method. You wait for the coin to drop 40 to 50% from its all-time high, smart money loads up at that level, and you ride their liquidity back to the top. Again, all of these things are in that cheat sheet, you guys. Now for an exit, we don't sell all at once unless we have to. My favorite way is to DCA out. If we enter here, we're gonna be selling small parts all the way up. But if we do notice a clear loss of momentum, we just sell it all. You can, however, leave a 20% moon bag if you think that it could revive and it could be really good. That's an easy way to sell and secure your bag and stay in profits always. If you have one of those hard complexes of like, I don't wanna sell, this thing could go up, which is just greed. We're all guilty for it. So before we get into this next absolute key that you're going to need, that was the overview of the working system side of things. That's how traders are printing over these past few years, like printing insane amounts of money. Find the signal, find the coin, confirm momentum, enter and exit with a plan. Each step has way more depth, obviously, and that's why we have so much content and an actual flow of learning in our group to teach it all. But there's one thing that destroys traders even if they know all of this. Like, you might already have a great trading strategy, but there's one thing and one little key that I know that you might not know that's keeping you broke. This one thing is 50% of any millionaire trader's skill stack, no matter what they're trading. And it's called psychology, also referred to as mindset. You could hand someone the perfect system, the exact filters, exact entries, exact exits, and they'd still blow up their accounts. Not because the system is wrong, but because the moment real money hits the wallet, their brain stops working the way it did when they were learning. And the 7 demons come up. Here's what most people don't realize. When you're in a trade with real money, your IQ drops and your emotions rise. And that's not an insult, that's just biology. Adrenaline is going to hit your system because you're risking resources. You get tunnel vision, your heart rate goes up, and you literally enter fight or flight mode, whether you recognize it or not. And in that state, you cannot make complex logical decisions. If your emotions haven't been trained, which I have an automatic simple ass way to do, if you don't do that, the whole strategy and system that you just learned goes out the window the second that pressure hits because you can't think. This is why people have such high win rates paper trading, but then start losing the minute they use real money. I see it all the time in the group, and after a few tweaks, they recover their win rate back up. But it's all to do with the demons. These demons are specific traps that get traders over and over again. And just knowing about these, like listening to what I'm about to say, is gonna make you such a better trader. Okay, the first one is FOMO. You've all heard of it. You see a coin ripping and you just buy because you can't stand the feeling of missing out. The second one is revenge trading. You just took a loss and you jump into the next one right away. Maybe you use too much size, or you don't think over the actual trade, or wait for a real early hype signal. The next one is panic selling. The coin dips 20% and you dump the whole position because you're scared, even though nothing about the setup actually changed. The next one is full porting. You convince yourself that this is a for sure thing, so you throw half your wallet or your whole wallet at it. It's things like these that every trader does, every single one. The winners aren't better people. They just know these demons exist and they have rules in place to stop themselves before they do any damage. And here's the part that nobody wants you to hear. The fastest way to start making real money is not to use real money at first. I know how that sounds. Every beginner wants to skip this part and get straight to the wins. But the market always charges a tuition. You either pay with your time paper trading until you're actually good. That's why I developed the Trencher Challenge in the Discord. It's a 3-phase thing anyone can go do that bridges you from paper trading, you hit your goals, and then you go into real trading. And the success we see with people using that is insane. So you can do the Trencher Challenge, the paper trading, or you can pay with your time plus a drained wallet because you rushed. Most people pay with both because they refuse to do the boring part. Traders who skip paper trading end up taking 100 times longer for any results because their added emotion lowers the IQ like we talked about and makes their learning slow as hell. The ones who take it seriously for just a few weeks end up passing them right away. It doesn't matter if someone's been bashing their head against the wall for years. If someone actually follows the system we have for learning, they pass those people within a week or two. It's just about speeding up the feedback loop so you learn the system before your emotions get a chance to ruin every trade. So the real answer isn't to just have a system. It's having a system plus the psychology to actually execute it. Now, the system we teach, VCS, does both at the same time, but there are 2 parts. The third part is you need an environment to trade in that actually actually holds you accountable while you build both. An environment where you can see what's working for others and ask questions. That's what separates the traders stacking consistent wins from the ones who keep blowing up and draining their phantom wallets. Every winning trader you see, they didn't get there by being smart. They got there by building the discipline and putting themselves in an environment where they could grow at lightning speed every single day. And that environment I just mentioned, you guys, the one where you will learn the full system and actually execute it every day with people already winning, well, that's the community I built around all of this. It's called the Alpha Club Elite, where you can start for completely free. What cool things do we do inside of there? Well, everyone gets the full Viral Coin Sniping strategy course and system. These are videos and a path that breaks down every single step that traders are using to go from shitty to 5 figs a month. It breaks down everything I covered today in a way that you're going to understand and in depth, and in a place where you can ask me and other great traders questions. We have some of the best traders in the world in our Discord every day. There's also 5 elite callers posting CAs. These are some of those great traders. And here's one of the greatest parts, you guys. Every single day during peak trading hours, we run a live trading group session where you trade along those pros in real time, so you can see what they enter and why they enter it. There's a free trial running right now. The link's in the description. Subscribe.